This video we'll be going over IRS notice CP131A. This is a tax notice that business owners might receive if their corporate tax return has a miscalculation that the IRS is correcting. So we'll walk through this notice. We'll talk about what you should be looking at, what you need to know, and where you can learn a little bit more if you have questions from the IRS website. So to begin, we're going to start with the upper right hand corner. You'll see the notice number, CP131A. The tax period is December 31st, 2017. There is a notice date. This is important to keep in mind because the notice date usually is the trigger for any penalties or anything along the lines of the collections process. So we'll talk about that momentarily. And then the EIN, the employer identification number. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll see the business name and address. So if you've recently relocated, you should update your business information with the IRS in your tax records. You can do this by filing IRS Form 8822-B, which is the change of address form for business owners. So let's take a look at the notice and see what it says. So it looks like the Form 1120, there was an amount due, $53. Sounds like there was a miscalculation in the area of estimated tax deposits. So they made changes that you don't owe them any money and the IRS doesn't owe a refund. So if there's no balance due, you don't need to do anything. So that makes the response a little bit easier. But if you don't agree with the changes, then you can contact the IRS either by calling them or by contacting them in writing within 60 days of the notice. So most people would probably not want to correct any items that result in a zero tax bill, but maybe there are other circumstances that apply to you. And then there's a little bit of additional information about, what specific tax changes happen to the tax return. So in this case, this was the estimated tax deposits. And then on the next page, we should see a little bit more information about the details. So estimated tax deposits, other credits and payments. So these were the payments that were credited to the account. For some reason, there's a failure to pay penalty of $2. You can request abatement of penalties by filing IRS Form 843. So you can do it because of reasonable cause. You can request abatement based on erroneous written advice from the IRS. So if you asked for the IRS's opinion on a tax topic and you gave them enough information, you received a response in writing that you used for your tax return and you still get a penalty, you can request an abatement for that. There's also a wide degree of latitude that the IRS has for what's known as first-time abatement. So generally speaking, if this is your first time with a tax penalty, you can request an abatement of your penalties under most circumstances as a first-time taxpayer. So we'll put links in the show notes to resources we've created about Form 843, just in case you're interested. There's a breakdown of interest. You can't really request an abatement of interest, but if you do request an abatement of penalties or if they reduce the taxes, then the interest gets automatically recalculated as if the previous penalties and tax did not exist. So you're not going to pay interest after penalties were abated on the penalties that you shouldn't have had in the first place. So that interest will come off and be recalculated. So there's a blurb about corporate interest and additional interest charges if you owe $100,000 or more. Obviously, that's not the focus of this letter. That's just standard verbiage that they put in here. So let's take a look at the IRS website page. So again, reinforces you don't owe us any money. You're not due a refund. So there's a couple of frequently asked questions, but basically not a lot to do here. So as long as you don't have a problem with zero tax bill, then you don't need to contact the IRS. If for some reason this results in missing out on a refund that you were expecting, then you probably would want to call the IRS about this. Make sure that you call the number on the notice, or you can call the IRS business tax line. So don't use the individual tax line, use the business owner's tax line. But that's all we have in this video. We'll put links in the show notes to resources we've created about forms and schedules mentioned here. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or if you have a topic that you'd like to see in an upcoming video, please hit us up in the comments section. Thank you very much and have a great day.